Greetings folks, and I hope your action figures are many and your pre-orders are prompt, and welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today it's the turn of Baba Yaga himself. Yes, it's John Wick, aka Keanu Reeves, from the 2023 Chad Stahelski directed final installment of the Mr. Wick saga, John Wick Chapter 4, brought to us courtesy of Hot Toys. So, usual format folks, box, accessories, figure, then showcase at the end. But before we dive in, the usual shout out to everyone who supported Go Figure, and please drop a like on this review and help other people find the channel. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you don't miss any of the new content that we've got coming up. And I'd also like to send a massive thank you out to William Wang over at One Man's Hobby, who sourced me this figure. If it's anything 1/6 scale you're after, please check out his website. The link will be in the description below as always. So, where to start? Well, I'll start with a question. Have you ever had one of those characters on your action figure radar that you never quite got around to bagging? I nearly bit on the Chapter 2 iteration, but slept too much, so was interested in the Chapter 3 iteration, but the head sculpt wasn't quite right for me, and prices on the aftermarket, well, I mean, literally it would cost you an adjudicator medallion to be able to afford one. So, Mr. Go Figure has gone wickless all of these years. So when Hot Toys announced John Wick 4, I was determined not to miss out on what could very well be the last iteration of Baba Yaga in 1/6 scale. But that's enough of my hightail hijinks onto the box itself. And it's not dissimilar to the Hot Toys Kane figure box that we reviewed recently on the channel. There'll be a link to that review at the end of this one, but we'll have a quick close-up look at it. And what you're presented with is this sort of slipcover design with this intricate Art Deco style layout on the front with lots of angles and shapes going on, and it's done in this black, gold and red, and just looks really bold, really effective. And I do like the boxes that Hot Toys have used for the John Wick 4 line. On the front here, there's all kinds of things going on, lots of little hidden Easter eggs if you want to sit back and try and discover them. There's a sort of an outline in gold there of John Wick himself. You've got a clock in the middle, there's dueling pistols, you've got bow and arrow, bows on either side here, you've got katanas at the top and bottom. It says John Wick Chapter 4 in the middle there. It says Baba Yaga, and there's the nunchaku crossed in the centre of that. There's the Hot Toys Special Edition sticker, top right hand corner. It says Hot Toys at the bottom there. And there's lots of different things hidden away here. There's an hourglass down here. There's bullet holes all around. There's bullets on the side. And this is continued on the left and the right hand side of this box. You've got that continuation of that really nice Art Deco sort of background going on. It says John Wick in this super high gloss red lettering. You've got axes there, more bullet holes, and yeah, it's just very, very well done. Very, very professional and very, very classy looking. On the top, it says John Wick, and there's a little gun there. On the bottom, John Wick Chapter 4. Around the back, you have all the usual warnings and credits going on, and there's even more Easter eggs on the back here as well if you look carefully, all pretty well hidden. But yeah, credits and warnings at the bottom there. Don't piss this figure off, or your membership of the Continental might be revoked. Let's take the slipcover off and have a look what you've got going on underneath. You are greeted with a very red design box, which sort of echoes that reds on the front of the box. Obviously, clear window at the front here with the figure and all the accessories underneath. On the sides there, it just says Baba Yaga again, that Baba Yaga symbol. Oh, that's the same on the on both sides there. And around the back, you have this rather nice design. Once again, you've got dueling pistols, John Wick, that Art Deco design going on there, and it says the high table at the top there, and you've got the Parabellum logo in Latin in the middle there. If you want peace, prepare for war. So that's the box, and very, very nicely done it is too, I have to say. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice this is a sealed box, literally brand new. This figure just come through the door, so we will do as we always do. We will crack the seals on this box and dive down onto the table to have a look at all the accessories that come with your John Wick figure. Okay folks, so seals broken, accessories out, let's have a look at everything that you get. We will start with the hands first. You know me and my hand thing. 13 hands, yes, count them, 13. Mr. Go figure is in hand heaven. But let's have a look at the quality we're looking at here. And you've got all kinds of hands going on. You've got sort of expressive splayed hands like this one. You have gripping hands for the weapons, the vast accessory of weapons that he's got. You've got fisted hands, obviously. Yeah, there's a whole variety going on here. You've got sort of those hands that sit underneath rifles to hold them in place. I think that's that one there. Yeah, but just a really great variety of hands going on here. We'll take a quick look at this blade one to see what kind of quality we're looking at, and it's the usual story here from Hot Toys. Their hands, I have to say, are probably some of the best in the business. But yeah, the sculpt is really nice. You've got vein work in there, you have bone structure, the multiple paint applications there to give it that skin tone and texture, slight rending of the knuckles going on. You've got sculpted in fingernails, which is nice to see, creasing in the palms. Yeah, overall it's the usual high standard and what we've come to expect from Hot Toys. Let's do the flexibility test. You've got a medium to soft here, so I don't think gripping in the accessories is going to be an issue. No hairdryer or hot water required, hopefully. Let's grab another one at random to see if we're looking at the same kind of sculpt and paint application. Yeah, we are. I think we're always going to be with Hot Toys here. As I say, their hands are very, very good. Vein work, bone work, the whole 9 yards is there. Just very good indeed. And it's good to see as well that on all the left hand he is missing that half a finger there that he removed in penance for his sins. So yeah, some great hands there. Glad to see we have such a wide variety and so many to choose from. There is an open palm pair on the figure that we will take a look at when we bring the figure out, so we'll pop those to one side. Also comes complete with a couple of spare wrist pegs, always good to see, and standard issue for Hot Toys. Instruction manual, unopened. Imagine this is brand new out of the box, but yeah, I am assuming that this will cover swapping out accessories, swapping out the hairpiece that comes with this particular figure. So yeah, set of instructions as always with Hot Toys. What else do you get? Weaponry. Let's take a look at some of the. Oh, actually, before we look at the weaponry, you get the doohickey for altering the eyes. It's got the PERS system, this particular figure. So yeah, you get the usual tool for altering the eyes, and great to see that Hot Toys are starting to do what they've threatened to do for a long time, which is put PERS in all their 1/6 scale action figures. So yeah, that little tool is included. Weapons, weapons, weapons. We have a lot of weapons, but before we look at those, you get the coins. Now, these are exactly the same as the stacks of coins that come with the Kane figure. Pretty nicely sculpted. You've got that sort of line on the top there, and I'm not sure what that is on the bottom there, but sculpt's pretty good. Paint applications are nice. There's some gold and some black washes on there to pick out the details of the coins themselves, and overall, yeah, pretty nicely done. And you get 3 stacks of those coins. You also get 3 individual coins as well. And I'm going to be super careful here because, as regulars to the channel will know, I have the ultimate sausage fingers, so I do not want to drop this. But yeah, you get 3 individual coins, exactly the same design and paint applications as the stacks, but yeah, just a hell of a lot smaller, obviously. So we'll put those to one side. Now, weapons. We will start with a nunchaku, and these are sculpted plastic, I believe, with a metal chain. The chain feels cold to the touch, so I'm assuming it's metal. But the body of the nunchaku are nicely done. They're hexagonal in plastic with paint applications on there to give it that wood look, and I believe the weathering on here is actually printed on. It isn't actually painted on, but they've done a cracking job here of replicating wood, and they look used and really well done. The heads of the sticks are actually plastic, I believe, where this metal chain joins, but they've got paint applications on there to give it that gunmetal look with some black dry brushing to pick out the details. And overall, yeah, really nicely done. 6 scale pair of nunchaku. So put those to one side. Dueling pistol. This is the second of the pair. The Kane figure came with the other one, and it's pretty much identical to the Kane figure. Pretty nice sculpting on here. There's paint applications on these sections and on the handle to give it that wood look. Perhaps not the best I've ever seen, but still pretty good. There's some nice intricate sculpting there just below the barrel. The cocking action doesn't exist on this. There's no cocking action here. The gun itself doesn't go, but overall it's pretty well done, and pretty much identical to the Kane figure, as I mentioned before. So yeah, that is your dueling pistol. Katana, all plastic this one, no metal here unfortunately, but as always with Hot Toys plastic katanas, it's a pretty good job that they've done here. You've got a wave line on the blade there, you've got that silver paint application on there to replicate the metal look. Quite sharp actually this, so be careful out there if you're picking it up. The hilt is sculpted in plastic as well, but it's got these brown paint applications to give it that look of being bound. And overall, nicely done. There's pattern in the hilt there, which once again is plastic. Probably conspicuous by its absence here is there's no sheath for this particular katana, which is a bit odd. The Kane figure got one. I'm not quite sure why Hot Toys omitted to put that in, but it is what it is. That's the katana. I would say be careful with this as well. It's super thin and it is flexible, but yeah, I could see this breaking quite easily if you're not too careful with it. So yeah, that's the katana. What else do you get? Bow and arrow. Now, unless I am getting way too old and forgetting things, I don't remember John Wick using a bow and arrow in the film. There were bows and arrows in the film, and they were used, just not by him, which is odd. I mean, it's nicely done. It's sculpted plastic with that sort of elastic style string that connects it here, which we've sort of come to expect and see in a lot of Hot Toys figures that have bows, but yeah, strange addition this one. And I have heard rumours that this is repurposed from another Hot Toys figure, so maybe they just threw it in as an afterthought, I don't know, but yeah, it seems a bit incongruous considering all the weapons that John Wick uses in John Wick 4. Why choose one that he doesn't use? Odd choice there from Hot Toys, but it comes complete with a couple of arrows as well. They're all one piece of sculpted plastic. The feathers at the end there are nicely done and nicely painted. The bow itself has got some washes on there and dry brushing to give it that wood look. It's sort of browns and blacks going on. It's got this elastic string. And the whole bow will flex if you pull that, so I would say maybe exercise caution over time. I've got a Hawkeye figure that where this became a little bit loose and I had to retighten it because I had it posed in the loaded position for a little bit too long. So yeah, if you are going to use this in the display, watch out for that. But overall, yeah, nicely painted, nicely sculpted, nice addition. But why? Why has it been added? Could we not have gone for perhaps a shooty gun instead of a bow and arrow? But it is what it is. That's the bow and arrow. Let's take a look at the guns. It comes complete with 3. One of these is the special edition gun. The first one is the standard issue, and I believe this is the fully automatic shotgun. As regulars to the channel will know, I am no weapons expert. Although I am trying to give myself an education, I couldn't tell you quite which make or model this is. Although it does say Gun 13 on the side there, if that's any clue. But the paint applications and the sculpting are really nice. It's got this sort of, and if the light's catching this, the main body and the handle of the gun, this deep olive green, and the rest of it's been painted this sort of gunmetal grey with some subtle washes on there of silver to pick out the details. But yeah, it's very, very nicely done. The details are picked out really well. You've got an on-off safety there, or is that, yeah, or is that a fire or... Yes, fire and safety there. There's no cocking action going on here. You've got this sight, which is really nicely done with the adjustment dials on there. And overall, really, really nice. Even a little printed warning on there. I don't know whether that's a sticker or whether that's been stamped on there, but it just adds to the authenticity. The back of the gun extends, which is screen accurate, and yeah, overall, just a really, really nicely done piece. There's a removable, I believe a removable, removable cartridge on this one, with some sculpted and painted in bullets. Now, having done some reading on this, I think they've got this slightly wrong, Hot Toys, and please correct me in the comment section if I'm cocking this up, because I am no weapons expert, but I believe this is actually a fully automatic shotgun, and they are bullets in there and not shotgun shells, and this should be shotgun shells. But maybe that's me just splitting hairs, but yeah, that magazine clips straight back in there, and overall, I think it looks really good. So that's your automatic shotgun. Comes with the handgun, the Viper, I believe it's called. The Viper, I'm not sure what the number is, but it looks good and it looks screen accurate. Nicely sculpted here, nicely painted. Once again, the detailing is good there. It says tactical something on the side there. but I can't read that. There's a cocking action with this, I believe, he said confidently. Yep, there you go. You've got those sort of gold stroke brass paint applications going on the inside there. Details really nice. Little green highlighted area there where it's been painted to highlight the end of the sightings. Yeah, and just overall really nice. I'm going to assume this has got a removable magazine. This is the first time I have seen these accessories, but yeah, as always with Hot Toys weapons, removable magazine, sculpted and painted in bullet. So yeah, that's the handgun. I don't think there's a cocking action at the back there that I can see, no, but overall screen accuracy is on point and sculpt's really nice. So that's the handgun. And finally, for the weapons at least, is now I believe this is the bonus that comes with the special edition, is the assault rifle, but apparently quite similar to other assault rifles that they've included with John Wick figures. I think I heard somewhere that this isn't actually the exact model that he used in the film, and it's slightly different. But yeah, if I'm wrong on that, please drop a comment in the comment section below. But to me, the screen accuracy looks there, the sculpt looks on point. There's no olive green going on in here. This is all that sort of gunmetal black. And once again, you've got details picked out. It says fire and safety there. You've got the scope on the top. I don't think this one is extendable. No, that's not extendable. But around the other side, yeah, you've got the same level of detailing and sculpt going on. And you've even got, and this is something that made me laugh. It says secret base on there, which is obviously, that's Hot Toys shop. And nice little touch there from them, a bit of an in-joke. I'm assuming that the magazine is removable on this one as well. He said confidently, yeah, that comes out. And once again, sculpted, painted in bullets. Great to see, but we'd expect nothing less from Hot Toys. Are there any cocking action? Is there any cocking action going on with this? Not that I can see, so it's pretty much static. Yeah, but nicely sculpted, nicely painted, and screen accurate. Possibly, he said cautiously. So those are the weapons. You also get this swap out hairpiece. Now we'll take a look at how this works when we bring the figure out, but there are two looks, one controversial. This is the uncontroversial hair, and it's magnetically attached, and it simply just clips over the top of his head. But the sculpt on the hair looks really, really nice. The colour looks on point. They picked out individual strands there. They've included that sort of almost gold paint application that Hot Toys have taken to putting on their sculpted hair, which gives it that real depth, and it sort of highlights the hair and highlights those individual strands. So yeah, that's the swap out hairpiece. And finally, the base. Now, Hot Toys hexagonal base going on here, and not dissimilar once again to the Kane figure. In fact, it's almost identical. It's got this plastic cover on it. I'm going to remove this on camera because there's nothing more supremely satisfying than doing this. It just peeling that off. Ah, yes, that was nice. I'll put that to one side. You're greeted with a very, very similar base to Kane, as I said. The name's changed, obviously. It doesn't say Kane, it says John Wick, but the colours have been changed. I believe they're sort of more bluey gold, bluey yellow on the Kane figure, and here they've gone for a more reddy crimson type look. But yeah, really bold, really impactful. I do like these bases. We'll take a quick look at the bottom. Feet on there, so that's going to limit slippage in the display. Great to see. It's all plastic. It's got that sort of bisecting line that goes through it, and on one side you've got that rough textured top with bullet holes in it, and then you've got this super shiny section on the other side. Bit of a scratch magnet, this one, when you're posing, so if you're swapping out dynamic poses on a regular basis, watch out for scratches. But overall, yeah, I think it looks really, really nice. I do like these Hot Toys bases. I think they're pitched just right, I think, for display purposes. On the front, you've got John Wick in white, which I think is just simply printed on there. But overall, very, very nicely done. You've got the standard issue crotch grabber that comes with the Hot Toys figures, and good to see it's got this slightly extended cut at the top here, which means once you've slotted it in the base there, it will actually extend out so that the figure is more central on the base, which is I think it's a good touch there from Hot Toys. And also as well, it lends itself to slightly more dynamic posing, I think, having this extension on the crotch grabber. So there you have it, folks. That's all the accessories that come with your John Wick figure. So without further ado, let's bring out Baba Yaga himself. Let's get him onto that stand, onto the turntable, and find out what he's all about. Okay folks, so here he is, it's John Wick, aka Baba Yaga, aka Keanu Reeves, straight out of the box, straight onto the stand and straight onto the turntable. First impressions. I've got no accessories, no pose, no nothing here, just straight out of the box because I wanted to take a look at the proportions, and I think they've nailed it on here, Hot Toys. The proportions look on point. That suit looks very, very good indeed. We will talk about the hair on that head sculpt when we get to it. That's the second of the swap out hair pieces that we talked about in the accessories section, but overall I think there's a possibility, and now I can't say with absolute certainty because I don't own any of the other Hot Toys John Wick figures, but there is a possibility that we could be seeing the best take on John Wick from Hot Toys ever. But let's have a close-up look as we always do. Let's stop him from spinning and get him into the camera. Let's get him off this stand and start at the bottom and work our way up. We've got plastic shoes here, all one piece of sculpted plastic, I think, and I shall double check here that these are directly pegged in. We've got socks going on, which is always great to see on figures that are wearing shoes. And yeah, it's a very simple sculpt this. It's just sort of like a simple Oxford design shoe. As I say, all sculpted plastic. They've done the soles here, which is nice to see. They've put in the detailing and a little bit of weathering on the soles. But overall, yeah, there's some crease work in there, sculpted in laces. Pretty good, perhaps not the best I've ever seen, but pretty good. Let's do the flexibility and articulation test on these. Very stiff, these joints here at the end. I'm assuming this is maybe a dumbbell joint going on here. It feels like it might be, not 100% certain, but yeah, you've got some lateral movement going on there. There's quite a lot of forward and back movement going on, which is fantastic to see. These feet go right the way up and down as well there. So yeah, you're going to be able to get some very good dynamic poses out of this, I'm suspecting, and there is full lateral movement as well. So moving upwards to this suit now, we'll take a look at, I'll have an overall impression of this suit before we look at the detail, and I think the cut and the finish on this looks absolutely on point. The material is really, really nice. I'm not sure what material Hot Toys have gone with here, but it's black obviously, but it's got this sort of what looks like it may be screen printed in hexagonal or crisscross design, lattice design going on. Which I'm assuming is there to maybe represent that the bulletproof nature of the suit itself, and he's constantly holding up the jacket. But yeah, maybe that's there's some kind of carbon fiber weave that they've got going on in there to make it bulletproof. But yeah, the full is really, really nice on these suit pants. Stitch work up the seams here, faultless, absolutely faultless. And I have had issues historically with some of Hot Toys stitch work, as regulars to the channel will know, but it looks like they've pretty much caught it here. I think that that there is just how it's falling straight out of the box. I don't think that's an issue with the stitch work. Overall, yeah, stitch work on point. The material is really nice. It feels like almost like a screen printed cotton, or maybe it's a man-made material. Couldn't say with any absolute certainty, but yeah, the cut is really nice. Moving up, you've got the waistcoat made of the same material, and the jacket, which is doubled over there, which is good to see, and then lined with a man-made material. But the stitch work is really good. This waistcoat, very nicely done. I'm trying to see how they've attached it, and I think this is magnetic. Wow, okay, I'm impressed. They've gone for a magnetically closing waistcoat here, I think, and that goes all the way up. Does that go all the way up? Yes, it does. That is really, really clever and really, really nice to see. Snaps, although can be good, I find too fiddly, and they break exceptionally easily and come away from the material that they're sat on really, really easily. I think this magnetic solution, I wasn't aware of this when I opened this figure up, so yeah, I am super impressed with that. Props to Hot Toys on that one, but they've stitched in the buttons on the front there. As I say, the same material as the rest of the suit. The cut and finish looks really, really nice and on point here. And I've said this before, and I'm going to repeat myself, so apologies to anybody if they're sick of hearing this, but I still say to this day, 1/6 scale suits are probably one of the hardest things to get to look right. To scale that material down, to scale the stitch work down and get it full and fit right and make it look real. is damned hard, and I think Hot Toys have really done a cracking job here. I have the Kane figures we mentioned before, and we'll bring them out for a comparison. I thought the tailoring on that was good. I think this is just as good, if not better. But the suit itself, does it have functioning pockets? Yes, it does. That's great to see. The cut and the finish, absolutely on point. You've got the buttons on the cuffs there, which looks super realistic, as with all black suited figures. This is a dust hair magnet, so if it's picked up anything, literally that is straight out of the box. So yeah, you're going to be constantly cleaning it, but that's the nature of all figures like this. I think, yeah, the fall of this suit is great now. It's got padded shoulders there to bulk him out, to get those the right proportioned shoulders, and they look on point. Let's check the articulation at the waist. There is a swivel going on there. Yeah, we've got a waist swivel. That's good to see. So dynamic posing is definitely on the cards. We've got a bit of a, we've got a full ab crunch going on as well. It does open that waistcoat up when you're leaning forward, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. Let's check the shoulders. Yeah, we've got a butterfly joint going on at the shoulders there. The arms, how far will they go? Oh yeah, we're going to go all the way up here. This is brilliant. Yeah, cracking articulation here, so they'll go all the way up to his face. I perhaps wouldn't want to keep that pose like that for too long. I would be wary of creasing these joints here for too long. Because the nature of this, if it is screen printed on, the nature of this sort of crisscross design is super shiny, and I don't know whether that might fade in time in a dynamic pose, but time will tell. Knees, yeah, double bend at the knees there, and that's going to go right the way back up. Let's check those hips. Yeah, you've got full range of motion in there. I think that's only going to be restricted by the crotch area there. So overall, really, really well done. You've got a belt going on underneath that waistcoat at the top of the pants there, and I believe that buckle's going to be off to one side because I think that's how he wore the belt. Now, I'm not seeing a buckle here. No, the buckle's actually right round the back. If the camera's catching this, yeah, the join's right round the back there. Couldn't attest to the screen accuracy of that, but it looks good, and I believe that's a sculpted plastic belt. Yeah, it is. Now, the head sculpt. Oh, let's just have a look at this collar area. Now, it's got that super large white collared shirt. Stitchwork looks really nice. Yeah, and it feels like a cotton material. The tie is the same material as the suit itself. They've not gone for that super thin, sort of hardened material that we see with a lot of 6-scale figures with ties now in order to keep them in place. What they've done here, I think, is they've used the material from the suit, but they've done some magic here with the knot. I'm not sure how they've done that to keep it fixed and stationary, which is great to see, because futzing with 6-scale ties is a personal nightmare for me. I'm getting them to fall right, and it's looking like it's falling pretty much perfectly straight out of the box. So yeah, stitch work on that shirt is great to see, that it's done so well. And yeah, overall proportions are right with that slightly sort of 70s looking collar thing that he's got going on. Let's take a look at the head sculpt now. This is the controversial hairpiece. Now, how this works, relatively simple. Yeah, you just lift the hairpiece off and you're left with a rather unusual looking, slightly older John Wick, and then this back section can come off as well. Now, they're both attached by magnets. There's a magnet underneath this part of the hairpiece itself, which attaches at the back, and there's a magnet like the other hairpiece for the top section, which attaches to the top, and this gives you access to the purse system around the back. Now, the tool will fit in there, but I mean, there's enough space in there, possibly not for me. As I said before, I have humongous sausage fingers, so I'll be having to use the tool for this. I think I'll be going with the eyes off to one side, because that sort of gives that menacing, alert and ready for action look. But yeah, if you've got small enough fingers, you can fiddle around in the back there with your finger to get those joysticks, or you can use the tool, which simply slots in there, and jiggle those eyes around to your heart's content, to where they work for you. Swapping out that hair, we'll put the back piece back on. Swapping out the hair pieces couldn't be simpler. It's simply pop it back on where like that, where it came from, and it stays in place magnetically. Head sculpt. Now, I know this has caused a little bit of I don't know, disagreement, shall we say, in the 6-scale collecting community. I really like this head sculpt. I've only got a couple of other John Wick figures. I've got the Johnny Silverhand from Cyberpunk 2077 and the original Matrix Neo figure. I don't think I've got any others, but out of those three, I would say this is possibly the best John Wick head sculpt I've seen. I think the sculpt is absolutely nailed on. In my personal opinion, and the reason I passed on on Chapter 3 iteration of this was that head sculpt. I think that it has none of those problems. That pinched look, that slightly pinched look that he had, has gone completely here. And what we've got, I think, is a phenomenal head sculpt. The beard is absolutely on point with that fade up the cheeks there. I like the fact that they've gone for this slightly mouth open look. I think it works really well. It gives him that sort of steely determination. Those teeth are exceptionally well sculpted and painted on the inside of that mouth, and I believe they're fixed in from the other side when they make their head sculpts. But yeah, they've got that sort of translucent look and that white look, really well done. The lips are really well painted. I think, yeah, I mean, it's unmistakably Keanu Reeves. It's unmistakably John Wick. Is it perfect? I think it's probably the closest to perfection in a Keanu Reeves head sculpt I have ever seen. Those eyes are absolutely on point, the right colour, super glassy. You've got furrows on the forehead and where the eyebrows meet at the bridge of the nose. Pretty much from every angle there. That is absolutely nailed on as far as I'm concerned. I think that is, if I was giving this head sculpt a score on its own, I would give that a 9.5. I think possibly, maybe there's one angle, or maybe straight on, there's something slightly off, but that could just be me. But I think it's superb. I think it's absolutely superb. And what I do like as well is when you take off these removable hair pieces, there's no ugly line because they've actually sculpted in on the top of the forehead there and round the sides. The hair is actually sculpted into the head sculpt itself and painted. So when you attach the magnetic section there are no ugly lines. Even underneath there, with the bits that aren't seen on the head sculpt, Hot Toys have done that. I'm assuming that's for this piece of hair, but that's the neutral hair, shall we call it. Let's put the other one back on. Now this is the hair piece that's caused, shall we say, consternation in the 6-scale world. And this is meant to be Baba Yaga in motion, shall we say. So you can go for a dynamic pose of him turning or mid gunfight, and it's meant to look like the wind, shall we say, is catching his hair. And I was dubious about this in photographs that I'd seen of this figure. I thought, no, that doesn't look right. I'm never going to use that hair piece. It's always going to be the standard one. But actually, now I've got this thing in hand, I think it looks quite good. I have to say, I think if you get the right pose here, maybe with a waist twist of him turning, maybe holding a rifle or the pistol, or taking aim, I think you could get some really good looks with this hair. And the hair itself is exactly the same as the other hair piece. The quality of the sculpt and paint applications is fantastic, even down to individual hairs. And the ends of individual hairs here, really, really well done. Perhaps a tad incongruous because the back section, there is no swap out back section with the hair lifting with the motion, but I think it still works. I'm starting to like this more and more the more I look at it. There's no real seam lines either in this hair for when you swap out the pieces, and this is the great thing about this hairstyle and the way Hot Toys have painted it, is that you can't see the seam, literally. There it is there, and yeah, I think it's just blended in really, really well, so there is absolutely zero visible seam line in that hair. And overall, let's get him back on the stand and going for final thoughts about this. Well, actually, before we do final thoughts and give this guy a score, and I did forget to mention as well, this is another feature. As with the Kane figure, you have got a wired suit going on here, and now it's wired all the way up to the lapels, which comes all the way down the front, and then it's wired across the bottom as well, all the way around the back. and even this flap section in the suit itself has got a wire in it too. So yeah, I think the addition of that wire will make for great dynamic posing, great looks, and we will pop him back on the stand. I think what we should do next is bring out Kane, and let's have a look at how these two shape up against each other. So folks, here's John Wick alongside Kane. How do they square off and shape up against each other? I think really, really well. Those who've seen my review of the Kane figure, I'm pretty certain actually, without going back, that I gave this figure a 10, and I think we might be edging towards it with the John Wick figure as well. I think they display amazingly well together. The proportions are just right, and we didn't talk about the proportions on the body in the previous section. But the body they've used for the John Wick figure, absolutely spot on. Longer legs, obviously he's a taller guy than Donnie Yen. Proportions are nailed on. They look absolutely wonderful next to each other. Forgot to mention as well, actually, when we're looking at the figure in the previous section, the relaxed hands. It's just a little thing, but I think this works really well. The relaxed hands that Hot Toys have given us here, rather than being those sort of flat hands, and I can only do this best by demonstrating, is that we see sort of relaxed hands that look like this. They've gone for a much more natural relaxed hand, Hot Toys here, which is more the shape of a hand would be naturally when it's by the side of the body. So props to Hot Toys for that one, and it works really well on the figure. But yeah, overall, I think these are phenomenal. Possibly some of the best tailoring I have ever seen on a 6-scale figure, these suits. I think they are absolutely amazing. So final thoughts on John Wick. Well, I think it's a phenomenal piece. I think it's night and day on the difference between this and the Chapter 3 John Wick figure. I don't own that figure, so you know, decry me if you will. I'm only going on photographs, but I think this is far better, and I also think that head sculpt is possibly the best John Wick Keanu Reeves head sculpt I've seen, even beating the Johnny Silverhand, even beating the original Neo. And I know that's going to be controversial, but I think it's great. And I'm even beginning to love this little swap out hairpiece, which I thought I would hate, but actually the more I look at it, the more I use it, the more time I spend with it, I think it actually works. So a score on this guy. Super difficult, from the beauty of the suit to the quality of the accessories, as always with Hot Toys, the materials they've used, the wiring of that suit, the cut, the finish, the head sculpt, the whole. I cannot find anything wrong, and I was so ready to give this a 9 or 9.5 because of the goofy swap out hairpiece, but it is actually very, very good. Yes, there are probably some errors there with the accessories and some strange additions and some strange omissions, which I still can't fathom from Hot Toys, but overall, I can't find anything wrong with this figure, and as regulars to the channel will know, if I can't find anything wrong with the figure, it's got to be a 10. So I'm going to stick my neck on the chopping block here and give this one a 10 as well. I think we're looking at 2 10s here from Hot Toys, and it's fantastic. If you are a John Wick fan, if you're a Keanu Reeves fan, really, this is a no-brainer having these in the collection. I think they are some of Hot Toys' best work. Not the best, but some of it. So there you have it, folks. That is John Wick from John Wick Chapter 4, courtesy of Hot Toys. What's your take on this piece? Have I got this completely wrong? Is this a much lower score? Let me know in the comment section below. I would be fascinated to hear your take on this, and your take on Hot Toys in general, your take on the John Wick movies, your take on Keanu Reeves, anything at all. As I say, please drop a comment in the comment section below. Nothing is off menu. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, in the 6-scale world, we have more stuff from Hot Toys, we've got stuff from InArt, we've got stuff from Pure Arts, from Caustic Plastic, Susu Toys, Present Toys, Mars Toys. I think the next one coming up is the Mars Toys Frank Gorshin Riddler double pack. So yeah, bags of stuff on the horizon. So as I mentioned at the top there, please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the good stuff. And I suppose all it remains for me to say is, from Baba Yaga, aka John Wick, and Kane, take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.